Greetings one and all, this is Rhythmworks and welcome to my channel with some Destiny 2 Warmind DLC action in the form of the Insight Terminus Heroic Strike, where Kargon is this big ass boss. Flare? Scion? Yeah, it's a flare, right? Yeah, it's a flare. Right, so basically Kargon is the flare boss that you've got to conquer in this strike. Now, I don't know if it's me or other people are having the same problem. Now, I've played Destiny 1, I've taken a break from Destiny 2, played a bit of Destiny 2, took a break from Destiny 2, got back onto it solely for this DLC, right? And what I'm noticing with people basically playing the Heroic Strike, they're playing the Heroic Strike like it's the same model. It is not the same model strikes as you would play in Destiny 2 prior to Warmind DLC. In fact, the strikes are more like Destiny 1, which is what I like because it has modifiers in the strike. For example, this one is where you take more damage when you're airborne and you deal a lot more solar damage, and I forgot what the other one is. And for me, right about now, that's right up my street. I really like that a lot. It reminds me of Destiny 1. And it reminds me more of teamwork within the heroic strikes. Now, if you've got a clan, then it's just part and parcel of the job, getting the job done. But if you're playing with randoms, it can prove a little bit difficult, especially for some randoms who think that is the same kind of strike. It's not the same strike. And what I'm noticing is that as soon as a strike starts, right, because they're basically tooled up and they're level 30 and yada 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 and blah 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 blah, they just kind of push you out the way. You know, if we have to basically use sparrows, we get on our sparrows and they think it's a competition right there. They get on the sparrows and they try and barge you off the freaking map at the beginning of the strike. That mentality I don't get, because at the end of the day we're working as a team. Why are you trying to fucking bump me off the map before we've even encountered any enemies? That doesn't make sense to me. You see, is this competitive bullshit within co-op I can't stand. Anyway, I'm digressing. Now, to get to this part of the strike, you've got to do a lot of work, and I'm telling you, out of all the strikes that I've basically done, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, right? I more or less quit 3 strikes out of the 4 strikes that I've done so far. This was the only strike that I've done to completion, right? And even at the beginning of the strike, it was the same kind of vibe. But then when the other 2 guys realized, look, I'm doing a lot of healing here, I'm doing a lot of reviving, and I'm using my supers and my skills to optimum effect to more or less save your fucking asses. And that's at the point where they basically toed the line and played the game properly. You know what I mean? And we got the job done. As you can see here, look, they're both dead, but I'm not trying to basically revive them in that mire of foolishness. So what do? I go round and I find a spot to hide and basically time it out so at least one of them can respawn back into the strike. Now, with some of the people, right, you revive them, right, and even before you revive them, they see from your camera angle what you are doing in order to progress through the strike, and they see you hanging back. Now, if I'm hanging back and you're dying, that tells you something that you just need to hang back. But as soon as you revive them, what do? They don't hang back, they go straight in, right underneath the ogre's nuts. You know what I mean? And get shat on. Why am I going to stay in that heroic strike when they're going to continue doing that shit? I'm out. And 3 times I've done it. 3 times I've done it. So people, please understand this, right? Bungie's trying to make Destiny 2 a better game. Not by making it more easy for you, but making it more challenging for you. And putting interesting parameters like modifiers, which they done in Destiny 1. Seeing? So once you see that, and once you understand that, and once you understand the fact that teamwork is key. I don't care if you're in a clan or if it's 3 randoms or you got a two-man clan and a random or what have you. I don't care. It's teamwork. And the more I see people basically just rush in where fools fear to tread, or fools rush in where angels fear to tread, and get slotted before they've even gone through the first part of the strike, I'm not going to stay in that strike. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? You know, it's not a rant, but it's just common sense. It's a face palm to me, because I'm noticing it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And how long the DLC's been out? It hasn't been out a while. 2-3 days, and you're trying to tell me that you can't see the familiarities between these strikes and the strikes that was in Destiny 1? Seriously? Really? Truly? I mean, what are the odds that people who have played Destiny 2 and got to this point have not played Destiny 1? Yeah, that's a huge question. But it can't be mistaken that when you have an heroic strike or heroic strikes now with modifiers in it, then they're telling you at the end of the day that you got to sort your loadouts out first of all, and you've got to use it to effect. And yes, you have got to use comms as well, you know. But it's with certain players, they're very instinctive as to the way they play. So you can tell by the way they play simply by one action, and it's them reviving. From they can see that you can play, right? And you've got a strategy and you've got your loadouts more or less key sorted, then they will revive you. But I know that there's some people that you revive them, and then when you die, they still fuck off and leave you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, I can't stick around. I can't stick around that strike. You know what I mean? I can't stick around that strike at all. Because if you're trying to be competitive and show me how many enemies you can kill before you revive me, you're not playing the game right at all. You're not. So I'm just saying, if you're encountering a problem where you're dying a lot, chances are the reasons I specified are the reasons why you're dying a lot. You know what I mean? You've got to be more team centric, man. More team centric. And this is not easy. This strike is not easy. It's not easy with the modifiers that are there, because you're gonna die a lot. But the key is, as you can see, I'm getting revived, and I'm reviving. As soon as one of my team member dies, I'm not shooting another enemy. I'm looking where my enemy, where my teammate is, and I'm going to revive them. If I can't revive them because they're in a mire of enemies, I'm gonna find a spot to hide and time out so they can respawn back in the thing, because I don't want to do this shit 3 times. Do you know what I'm saying? You know? But anyway, that's my, I wouldn't even say rant, but that's my position on the gameplay in Heroic Strike in Destiny 2's Warmind DLC. What do I think of the DLC so far? I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I'm not going to do lally over it, but I appreciate what Bungie's doing so far in terms of implementing different things within the formula of Destiny that has a hard work, big reward kind of ethic to it, which I totally agree with. You know, you put the work in, you get the rewards. You know, gone are the days where you just basically speed run shit. You know what I mean? And that's what they're trying to say. Don't be trying to speed run shit, because it's not going to work. And this, if this is what we're getting in Heroic Strikes, one can only imagine what the Nightfall is going to be like. And I haven't played the Nightfall. Haven't done any Crucible stuff as yet. But I will do. But overall, you know, the strikes for PvE players amongst ourselves, this is what I'm noticing with the Heroic Strikes. And all I'm saying is that you can get a much better experience within PvE Heroic Strikes by just playing as a team. I don't care if you have comms or not. I don't business. Do you know what I mean? But you can't just be trying to speed run it and trying to kill 2 million freaking enemies and have me watch that shit while I'm dying, because the risk of you dying as well and the other person dying at the same time doing the same shit as yourself and having to wipe and start all over again does not fill me with joy whatsoever. I am sorry, it doesn't fill me with joy. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I'm going to bid you guys adieu for now, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for stopping by, and as always, you done know the coup, whatever the game, media, platform, format, genre, happy gaming, because that's what it's truly about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters. And until I catch you on the next one, people, please revive each other. My God.
Location secured, Commander Zavala.